coder. In this video series you'll be watching about JavaScript, and this is JavaScript for absolute beginners. And at the end of this series I'm quite sure you'll be cleared with the basics concept of JavaScript and why do we need to use JavaScript and how important is JavaScript. So without wasting our time, let's get started. In this tutorial, we must first know what is JavaScript. JavaScript is a text-based programming language used both on the client side and server side that allows you to make web pages interactive. JavaScript gives web pages interactive elements that engage a user. The main motive of this particular scripting language, JavaScript, is that it gives you an interactive web pages such as click of a button and event listener, right? When you are entering some inputs, it gives form validation. The best example I can give you at this time is that I have just developed a small thing. It's a desktop lamp, right? As you can see, it's a desktop lamp purely and base. It is an image. First of all, it's an image. Once I toggle it, it lighten up all this thing. So once I toggle it, the light goes off. So these are the one of the most features of JavaScript which you'll be learning in this upcoming video series. So at this point you must be very clear with that HTML and CSS. HTML is for web development, just the structure. CSS is for designing the style sheets for a web page, and JavaScript is how can you make a user interact with your web pages. Now let's go to the next part. Is that we will be discussing about DOM, that is document object module. What is this? Why do you need this? The main thing is that in the previous video also I have told you that we are dealing with HTML structure along with the CSS, but JavaScript is how can we make an web page interactive. So in order to make a web page interactive, JavaScript uses the DOM modification and the structure. So DOM means it consider all the elements as an ID or by tag or by class. So there is a simple structure. I have given you a simple normal structure here, HTML. Inside there is a head tag with the title, my title. With another tag is the body tag. Inside body tag there is an heading h3 hello world. So now let's get shifted to DOM. So document. DOM, as the name suggests, document object model. So this is the document. Root element is the HTML which we have already declared, and inside root element we are considering two elements at present. One is the head and another is the one is the head and another is the body. Inside head we are considering an element that is the title, which have a text inside with my title, and inside the body tag which you are considering another element that is h3, and inside that text that is hello world. So DOM means these are the nodes, actually these are the nodes which we can access using inner HTML tag, using inner text, using the getting the value of a particular ID of our input values. So DOM is the main root element of a JavaScript with the help of which we can manipulate an image, an object, or any of the text in a particular web page. We'll be telling you about JavaScript statements and comments. What are JavaScript statements and comments? So JavaScript statements, a word or a sentence which are ending with a semicolon at the end is a statements. So let's see it. So here I have considered a blank template. You can just see I have used a script tag. This is the syntax of starting a JavaScript. You can also write here script type equals to text slash JavaScript. Okay, now I'm considering a name, suppose my name, and I'm just giving here when. So you can see that I've used a variable, I've given a name of the variable my name, and I've initialized a value that is bin, and it ends with that particular semicolon. So this is known as a statement. Any sentence ending with a semicolon is a statement. And the other thing was comment. Suppose I'm writing here my my first variable in JavaScript in JavaScript. So this is a comment. These are the comments. Comments are nothing. They are useful links to a developer, which by reading which they can get to know what a particular variable is or what a particular function can perform. Another thing is that this is a single line comment. Another is there is a multiple line comment, which is asterisk asterisk slash asterisk, and you can just write here. I'm just using the same thing. You can discuss it. My first, you can give line breaks variable in JavaScript. Suppose you want to give the name of a function and you want to tell the developer what the function actually does. So for that kind of a thing, multiple comments come into exist. So just I'm running this thing. You can just see if I run this. Sorry, I just need to here document dot write my name. So document.write, it just tells that I have to write something in the HTML page. So just see, this thing have come, Ben have come. We'll be discussing about JavaScript variables and data types. So what are variables? Variables in short are some kind of a storage containers which consist of your values assigned, and after that you can display them in the output. So the name suggests variables. As the name suggests, variables can be of different sizes. It can be of number type, it can be of string type, it can be of boolean type. So let's see how can we define variables in JavaScript. When we are defining a particular variable, we need to start with the keyword var, and as I've told you, JavaScript is a loosely typed language. So when I assign a particular value to a variable, it automatically detects what kind of data type it is working on. So let's see this in example. Suppose I'm writing here, okay, let's see, I'm writing here as x. I'm considering a variable as x, and I'm writing a number with it, right? And with this document dot write, in JavaScript there is a operator known as typeof. In typeof operator, you can determine what kind of data type is that particular variable holding for you. So let's say type of x, right? I've not assigned here anything, integer, neither number, nothing, but I've just used variable x equals to 12 type of x. Now I'll be saving this thing and let's run this thing. You can just see it is showing a number, right? Let me shorten this a bit. Okay, now it have come here. Okay, now if I'll use the same variable and just use here coder in, this is a string variable, right? Just see, type of it have come as string. Now another thing is that if I'll just use this false keyword, right? False, just see, it is showing me boolean, and just this is the main thing. And coming to the JavaScript data types, there are two types of data types in JavaScript. One is primary data type, and the other is composite data type. In primary data type, you will be seeing all this thing: string, number, boolean, null, not defined, all these things. And in composite, you will be dealing with object and arrays. So data types are nothing; they are just the way of expressing how can you tell JavaScript what kind of variable you are passing and what kind of output you can expect. So that's it for this part. Next we'll be seeing about JavaScript primitive and composite type of data types. In the previous video, in the previous series, I've already told you about data types and variables. Now I'll be listing out the categories. In JavaScript, there are two kinds of data types. One is primitive data types, and the other is the composite data types. So primitive data types consist of this keywords, that is number, string, boolean, null. So let's see them in action. So I'm considering here a variable with the name, just writing here Dev Smith. Okay. Another variable I'm considering here as age to be 12, and another thing I'm considering here is adult, and I'm using a boolean keyword as false. Okay. And just I'm telling here height. That's the thing, only that much. So let's see how can we, in JavaScript, you can use a type of operator keyword to list out what kind of data types are we passing to JavaScript to the server side. So we're using document dot write. Now let's arrange them in order. Name is plus, we're using as type of operator of name, plus we're using line breaks. Another is we are using age, age of, okay, plus type of, the variable we are using for age is age, plus we are using a line break for this. Another is we are using is adult. I'm using it as type of is adult. Another line break we are giving here, and the last but not the least is the height, 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 that is plus type of HEI height. Okay, I'll not be saving it, but let me run this. Okay, fine. Just let me shrink this thing. There's the thing. Now as soon as I save this, you can just see it's showing here. Name is of string type, age is of number, is adult is of boolean, and height is undefined. Why undefined? Because I've declared the variable named height, but I have not initialized it. So this is of undefined category. And another category in JavaScript data type is of null, which simply means null. Uh, it does not have any value within it. So the type of null is always an object. Now let's see about the composite data types. In JavaScript, there are two types of composite data type. One is of objects, one is object, right, and the other is arrays. So first let us look at array. Let us consider of these fruits, which consist of an fruit array, apple, right, maybe kiwi, maybe oranges, right? So this is of array type, and the type of array you'll be seeing here, document dot write, and type, let's see, the type of fruits, right? The type of fruits, let's refresh this, you can see as an object. In JavaScript, array types as well, the object type is of type of object. Now if you want to access any part of it, you can use indexing, right? So fruits of, suppose I want to access this apple, so fruits of 0, you can just see apple have come. If you want to list out the entire thing, you can just uncomment it and see it have come in apple, kiwi, or just uncomment this thing. Now let us look what are objects. I'm using an object name of person, right? I'm using first name to be dev, comma, I can use this also, this syntax is fine, right? I can use age to be as 12, and is adult to be as false, right? Now the difference between an object and array is that in array you can access each element with its index number. It's 0, 1, 2, right? This is the difference. In object you can directly call the name of that particular elements or the attributes which are relating to that particular object. Suppose I want to just get the first name of that particular object. Suppose I'm writing a document.write, the name of person is, just writing here, person dot first name. Let me represent, the name of the person is Dave, you can just see here. Or in other words, this is the dot operator, you can use this thing also, or you can just give the name of this thing also using, sorry for this, you can the index word you can just give here, person dot name is first, the name of the person is Dave, fine. So okay, the name of the person is Dave, this is the thing. Now if you use document write, what it is type, right? So document dot write, you just need to find the type of person, it will show you as object. See, it is showing you as object. Okay, let me first comment it to be clear. Just see, this is the thing. Document dot write, if you're considering an object, it will show you object. If you're considering an array also, it will show an array. Okay, fine. Now let's move to the next part. Are the kind of data types that are in JavaScript, that is primitive and composite data types. But how can we manipulate a particular variable? How can we make a logical expression? This entire thing is provided by the operators in JavaScript. So what are operator? If you want to add a particular number, if you want to manipulate a particular string, if you want to get a particular value, so the operators are a helping hand for you in manipulating that logical expression. For example, the first kind of operator in JavaScript is arithmetic operator. As the name suggests, arithmetic, it means addition, subtraction, division. So let me show you this. Considering a variable x equals to 10 and variable y equals to 10. Okay, now we want the result for this thing to be stored in z. So I'll be writing here x plus y, and document dot write z let me refresh this thing. You can just see in that browser the value is 20. So like this, in JavaScript we can use the arithmetic operators with different thing, like variable subtraction, x minus y, this is a subtraction operator. Variable division, that is x divided y. Variable multiplication, that is x multiply y. Okay, now let us write this thing. Document of subtraction value. Subtraction value is plus of sub, just refresh the page, is 0, that is 10 minus 10. Now for same thing we'll be doing here with the division value. And the answer is division. Okay, sorry for the variable name, it should be division. You can see it is 1. Now let's see the multiplication value. Let's give this. Now refresh. You can see 10 into 10 is 100. There is another operator apart from this thing, that is the exponential operator, that is 2 to the power. Generally we will write like 2, right, to the power of 2 something will come. In JavaScript we will be writing the same thing as variable z equals to 2 with multiplication sign 2, right? Now give z, the answer is multiplication value to the power 2 is 4. So these are the arithmetic operators. Okay, now another is the string operators. The main intention of this string operator is that how can we join these two strings. So variable x equals to dev and variable y equals to Smith. Now we have to concatenate this entire thing using a plus operator. So the plus operator is the string operator here, that is the concatenation operator. So I'll be just writing here x plus with a little space in between y. Just run this. You can just see it is Dev Smith, right? It have already come here, it is Dev Smith. Now another kind of operator is the assignment operator. Assignment operators, right? This is the assignment operators. As the name suggests, assignment operators means we are assigning a particular value to a particular variable. So the first and foremost basic is, now suppose I need to add 10 to x. So I'll be using this command of this x plus equals to 10. As soon as I save this thing, you can just see it has been 11. So these are the assignment operators. This is the shorthand assignment operators. Suppose I have already initialized the value x here. Now I want to subtract the same value with x minus equals to 10. Now let me refresh this thing. It have come back to its original position 1. Now I want to multiply this thing with 20. Let's refresh this. It have come as 20. So these are the kind of operators known as assignment operators. So I'm giving you another example of this. Suppose there is 8. The value of y is 8. Now I want to divide this y with 2. Right? I have already divided this y with 2. Now as soon as you save it, you can just see 8 divided by 2 is 4. So these are the kind of assignment operators for manipulating the particular operands. What are operands? Suppose I'm telling you variable z equals to x plus y. This is semicolon. Here x and y are the operands on which you are manipulating your operations, and plus is the operator, that is the addition operator. Another kind of operator is your logical operator. Just check this, logical operator. The main intention of a logical operator is to check whether your particular operator consists of that particular value or not, whether it is true or false. Suppose I'm writing here variable x equals to 2, right? I am using a conditional statement if x is greater than 1, right? Document dot write yes, x is greater than 1. Else I'm writing here document dot write x is not greater than 1. Okay, now let me refresh this. You can just see here x is greater than 1. So these are the logical operators: greater than, less than, right? Not equals to, equals to. These are all logical operators. Okay, another operator is that if I'll be telling you variable x equals to 10 and variable y equals to 10. Okay, if x is equals to y, document dot write yes, it have come yes. If just make this, that is the thing. The main idea between double equals to and triple equals to is that equals to will check whether the values are correct or not, whether the values are equal or not, both values. But triple equals to, this is a logical operator, they will check that whether the data type of both the operands x and y are correct or not. Suppose I am telling you x and y equals to 10. Now see, the answer will come as yes. So these are some of the few operators in JavaScript. Another operator is you can check another value. If x is equals to 10, I'm just using as double ampersand operator. If x and y, right? If x is equals to 10, sorry, and y is equals to 10, then document dot write yes. X is equals to, this is an expression, so it is coming here yes. If both these conditions satisfied, then display yes. Another condition is if using or. If any of the condition is true, suppose I am telling here x is equals to 1, right? I'm telling here if x is equals to 10 or y equals to that was the case. But if I'll be writing if x equals to 2 and y is equals to 1 and just save this, you'll just see there is nothing in the output. So or condition means that either of the one should be executed in order to make the condition true. So this is logical operators. We're talking about conditional control statements. As the name suggests, control statements. You are writing a piece of a code and suddenly you want a particular condition to be triggered at that particular time, and after that you want that particular thing to execute rest of the code. For example, you are writing a particular condition. Suppose I'm using as variable 1 to be 1 and another variable I'm considering to be as 2. Okay, this is the statement you have given. Now you want that if both of the variables when add up, if it is 5, it will execute that particular condition. Suppose if 1 plus 2 is equals to 5, this is the condition, right? Then I'll tell you document dot write the sum is plus is a concatenation operator, the sum is 5. Okay, up till now this is the thing. Else, what is the else condition? Document dot write the sum is not equal to 5. Okay, let's see till here. Now when I refresh this thing, you can just see this, it is coming that the sum is not equal to 5, as 2 plus 1 equals to 3 and it does not add up to 5. But what happen if I'll just give 3 to this thing? Just see, the sum is 5. So these are the logical conditions when you want a piece of a code to perform a particular function or a desired task only when that particular task ends. The another thing is that you can do is a shorthand, that is a conditional ternary operator. You can do is that it will come here 1 plus 1 plus 2 is the shorthand for if else, and you are giving a question mark here. What? 5. Another condition, not 5. Okay, so what you'll do here, equals to 5. So this is the condition, right? And I am adjusting here a variable z equals to this, and I have to declare another the variable 1 equals to 2 and another variable 2 equals to 3. Now just let me write this thing, document dot write z. Okay, now let's just refresh this thing. Now you can just see this is a conditional operator 1 plus 2. If this condition fulfills, if it is equals to 5, then the answer will be 5. But if the particular thing is not 5, it will show you not 5. So this is the conditional tertiary operator. It is similar to if. Another elegant way of writing the same thing is that if you can use a switch statement, is the most useful way of writing a switch statement. Is what are the condition you want to give? Switch 1 plus 2, right? It differs in this thing. It is case if it is 1 plus 2, so not for this. Okay, switch is this 1 plus 2, right? If this condition is 5, right, I'll write here document dot write 5, okay, break, this is the thing, right? And I'll be showing here if it is 5 1 plus 2, right? So if I'll just change thing, you can just see it have come as 5. Another case you can do is if you're writing here document dot write, just be writing here 6, right? And you'll be giving a break statement here. The main thing is the default statement, that is you'll be using a default document dot write it is the final execution. When both the cases does not satisfy in a switch statement, the default condition will be executed. So please input a number with sum equal to 5, right? Okay, this have already been done. So you can just see, if I'll be changing the value 3 plus 3 equals to 6, so it will be showing us 6. Now if I'm writing here 1, let's see what will be the answer. Please input a number with sum equal to 5. So this is the main, these are the main two control statements in switch statement. One is the switch statement, and sorry for that, these are the two control statements in JavaScript. One is the if statement and the switch statement. Next thing which we will be going to show is the looping statement. Why do you need a loop? Suppose we need to execute a particular task for a particular time or multiple times, so we make use of a control statement. So in JavaScript there are three kinds of control statement. One is for loop, the other is the while loop, and the last one is the do while loop. So we'll be going with the looping statements, right? The main thing is that it is considered for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So when you want a particular statement to be repeated multiple times, then you need a particular looping statement, or you want a particular task to be conveyed after this particular things happen. Suppose you want to print a multiplication table for 2, right? For 2 you want a multiplication table to be read, so we can use for loop. So for variable I, this is the initialization, I want to start from 1, I is less than is the increment operator, I is less than 10, I'll be giving I is less than equals to 10, and I want to increment this thing. So this is the initialization, this is the counter, increment counter. So what I'll be doing here, document dot write, right? What are we giving here? Tables of 2, which will be repeatedly repeating after its for 10 times. So it will be 2 into I, right? And let me give a line break. So see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So let me give here space. Okay, so it will be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 20 till 20. Till 10 I have done. You can make it till 20 also. The same thing will be coming. Just see, till 20 it have come. So for loop, while loop, and do while loop. These are the three looping statements in JavaScript. The first one I've already shown you why for loop is used and how is it initialized. The second one which I'll be showing you is the while loop. So while, you have to give a condition. Suppose I'm telling you while I is less than equals to 5, right? You have to write this one, document dot write arrow cess process started plus I. So I'll be considering here a value with I equals to 0. While I is less than 5, this process will be incremented each and every time it is coming. So this is an increment operator. So let's run. See, process 0 started, process 1 started, process 2, process 3, process 4, process 5, because it is less than equals to. If I'll give you less than 5, then these are the process. So let me, the main function of do while is that if your condition is false, it will still be executed at least once. This is the main difference between while loop and the do while loop. So let's see what is the syntax of do while. So first I'll be considering a variable as variable I equals to 0. Now this is the syntax of do while. Do document dot write the number is plus of I. Okay, this is the first thing. Now I'm incrementing from here while I is less than 10. So this is the condition, is that considering a variable I equals to 0. Now it will first go into this keyword, that is the do loop. It will go inside this function. Now it will say the number is 0. This is the number. Now it will increment. After that it will see whether that incremented number is less than 10 or not. Yeah, if 0 is less than 10, it will again go here, again it will start off executing. Let's see this into action. Let me put a line break here. Let's see, let's run this thing. You can just see here it's 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. It is less than 9 is less than 10. Okay, again it will go and check whether 10 is less than 10. No, it will exit out of the loop. So this is the main function of do while loop. So in the previous part I've told you about the controlling statement, that is if and switch case, and this is the looping construct, looping statement in JavaScript. Now what we're seeing was the basic of JavaScript, and this tutorial is just for the basic beginners. There's an advanced level to it, but let's see. I've just shown you some date function. That is the main thing in this part, and I'll be ending my video with this thing only. So I'll be just considering here h variable with new date. There's a date function. Suppose you want to get what the time is it, so I'll just write document dot write, it is h dot, this is the function, inbuilt function, get hours. Things I've made some. Okay, you can just see it is 11 in the morning. Now you can just see the get minutes function. Get minutes, it is 0. Okay, so these are the basic date functions in JavaScript, which you'll be seeing in my next video tutorial. So to be an absolute beginner, and for absolute beginner course, the main portion of this video are variables, data types, the looping statements, and the control statements. These are the most important and the basic part of this entire video series, and for a basic JavaScript learner, these are the main thing. So in the next video series I'll be showing you about advanced technique about JavaScript, and we'll be building some projects regarding this. So if you like my video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you.